That's exactly what's happening in Ukraine today. President Putin was determined to deny Ukraine and the Ukrainian people the power to make their choices about the future, whether to look east or west or both. Under the pretext of protecting Russian-speaking populations, he not only encouraged and supported separatists in Ukraine, but he armed them. He sent in Russian personnel out of uniform to take on the Ukrainian military, those little green men. And when that wasn't enough, he had the audacity to send Russian troops and tanks and sophisticated air defense systems across the border. But we rallied the world to check its ambitions and defend Ukrainian sovereignty. We didn't put boots on the ground. Putin sought to prevent a free and open election. We rallied the world to help Ukraine hold, quite possibly, the freest election in its history. Putin sought to destabilize Ukraine's economy. We provided $1 billion directly from the United States and worked with the IMF on a $27 billion international rescue package to keep them from going under. Putin sought to keep Ukraine weak through corruption. We're helping those leaders fight back corruption, which, by the way, is an issue that that demands our leadership around the world, by helping them write new laws, set up a new judiciary, and much more. Putin sought to hollow out Ukraine's military the last 10 years, and he was very successful. But we rallied NATO and NATO countries to begin to build that military capability back up. Putin sought to keep secret Russian support for separatists who shot down a civilian airliner. We exposed it to the world and in turn rallied the world. And remember, this all began because Putin sought to block Ukrainians' accession agreement with the European Union. Well, guess what? That agreement was signed and ratified several weeks ago. Throughout, we've given Putin a simple choice: respect Ukraine's sovereignty or face increasing consequences. That has allowed us to rally the world's major developed countries to impose real cost on Russia. It is true they did not want to do that. But again, it was America's leadership and the President of the United States insisting, oftentimes almost having to embarrass Europe to stand up and take economic hits to impose cost. And the results have been massive capital flight from Russia, a virtual freeze on foreign direct investment, a ruble at an all-time low against the dollar, and Russian economy teetering on the brink of recession. We don't want Russia to collapse. We want Russia to succeed. But Putin has to make a choice. These asymmetrical advances on another country cannot be tolerated. The international system will collapse if they are. And to state the obvious, it's not over yet. There are no guarantees of success, but unlike the Ukrainian people have stood up, and we are helping them, leading and acting strategically.